Welcome you from Minneapolis, Minnesota, downtown at the Target Center, the home of the Wolves. And you're watching the second round presented by Wingstop. Game one of round two in the West. It's a 6-7 matchup. The Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves, they match up for the first time ever in the playoffs. And with that, we welcome you. Target Center is rocking. I'm Brian Anderson, along with Coach Stan Van Gundy. We'll hear from Lauren Jabara in just a moment. And Coach, the Golden State Warriors survived a thrilling 7 games against the Rockets. Minnesota took out the Lakers in 5. This figures to be a great series with plenty of star power.
Plenty of star power. We got Steph Curry, the best shooter in the history of the game, one of the best clutch players and playoff performers, and he's been bolstered by the addition of Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, to most around the NBA. This is why they wanted Jimmy Butler for series like this. And on the other side, one of the rising stars in the NBA in Anthony Edwards, trying to take the Wolves back to the Western Conference Finals for the second straight year.
Same starting lineup for the Warriors as we saw in Game 7 Sunday against Houston. And Minnesota has their same starting 5 that they've had in all 6 of these playoff games. Beat the Lakers in 5. The Wolves have had 5 days off. Ended that series last Thursday. And one of these teams is going to punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals. The Wolves trying to do it in back-to-back years. Here we go. Game 1 is underway. The Warriors control the opening tip. Zach Zarba, Bill Kennedy, Sean Corbin are 3 officials tonight. Trey Maddox, the alternate. Kane Fitzgerald and Brian Forte in the replay center in Secaucus. There goes Draymond Green. That is part of the storyline here, and he gets the first bucket of the second round. Draymond Green and Rudy Gobert, an infamous history. You've got the Jimmy Butler saga. Jimmy Butler returning to Minnesota, where he played here, 66 games here, took him to a playoff, but then burned a bridge. One of the first bridges that he burned as Mike Conley misses, and there is Gobert. And Stan coming off a magical performance in Game 5 against the Lakers. Gobert went for 27 points and 24 rebounds.
Well, and already we see offensive rebounding being key. The Warriors are going to, Buddy Hield was asking for a timeout. I don't know what happened here.
It looked like he's pointing down at his uniform for some reason. I'm not sure.
Referees are talking.
He doesn't have the same shorts on. He's got a different pair of shorts.
Well, we don't need to have a timeout for that, though. I mean, Buddy Hield, like, come on.
The uniform.
And they're going to bring Gary Payton II in, who is available after missing Game 7.
The uniform is not uniform, Stan. That's the point.
Okay.
Referee stopped play, so now.
Well, I understand if the referee stopped it, but why did Buddy stop it?
He's got the wrong shorts. Hey, he's from the Bahamas. Sometimes he's on island time. He's going to need a new pair of shorts, man. You're watching the second round presented by Wingstop. Well, Buddy Hield has the proper shorts on. Sean Corbin came over, one of the officials. He filled us in on that sequence. He said it was the Minnesota Timberwolves who recognized the wrong shorts right away. And it is a delay of game. Next delay of game for the Warriors will be a technical. So that is to clean up the Buddy Hield shorts saga. Oh, what an incredible finish. Tyrese Halliburton, a game-winning three-pointer off a missed free throw. And the Indiana Pacers beat the Cavs on the Cavs' home floor for the second straight game. And the road teams have won all 4 in this second round. And the road team, the Warriors here, match it up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're just getting started. 10:18 remaining in this first quarter. We're less than 2 minutes in. Brian Anderson with Stan Van Gundy. And you have just missed something I've never seen. Buddy Hield had the wrong pair of shorts on. got a delay of game penalty, went back to the locker room, put the correct pair of shorts on, and we had a stoppage here for a moment. I think it was just so we could enjoy the ending of that incredible Indiana-Cleveland game as Stephen Curry goes to the basket and lays it in.
Yeah, look, and Steph Curry again has his hands full as he does every night. He gets great defenders. Jaden McDaniels, one of the longest and best perimeter defenders in this league, has the assignment tonight.
Anthony Edwards fires one across to Conley. And now Randall. Randall had an excellent series as the Wolves knocked out the Lakers. So here's what you missed with Buddy Hield. It was the Wolves bench who pointed that out, knowing that that's not allowed, and got hit with a delay of game, and Buddy Hield had to go change his shorts.
Yeah,
you ever seen that?
No, I have not.
Let me put a ribbon on what we've just seen from Cleveland. Now, you think about the Knicks and the Celtics, you think about the Nuggets and what they did with Oklahoma City. These games going late where one team looked like they had it in the bag and then they didn't.
There is nothing in the bag in the NBA now. I mean, there's no lead, honestly, that's safe. It's just the three-point shot has changed everything. The pace of the game has changed everything, and the emphasis on offensive rebound has changed everything. There's a lot of possessions. Now, they were checking the shot clock here, talking about whether the ball had hit the rim and how much time should be on the clock. So here's Julius Randle's shot. Look how much is running down. Did that ball hit the clock? If it didn't hit the rim, it should be down around 2, probably. If it did hit the rim, then it should be 14.
Certainly didn't look like it hit the rim, and certainly Draymond Green didn't have possession. So we've had a couple of stoppages here. I know the Wolves are anxious to get this round 2 started. That's close. It might have just grazed the rim there.
Yeah, it might have.
It certainly changed directions. You don't know if it was the backboard.
They're saying no, and there's going to be 2 on the shot clock.
That's a better look at it right there.
Exactly.
So from up above, you could really see the space between the ball and the rim. And so the shot clock is at 2. Got to go quick. Edwards does. And Podziemski out of the pack with a rebound. Wolves took out the Lakers in 5. They've been sitting since last Thursday. While the Warriors come in hot as Jimmy Butler, the former Minnesota Timberwolf, knocks one in to make it 7-4.
And notice Jimmy Butler guarding Rudy Gobert. They want Draymond Green on Randall, though they will switch a lot of screens. So now on the switch, Jimmy Butler on
Edwards, the Olympian, fires it across. And on the take, nothing there. Daniels, second chance. Edwards looking for room. Edwards comes up short. Brandon Podziemski was right with him.
Rudy Gobert, second time already. He's gotten the Wolves a second opportunity. He was very key, especially in Game 7 of that Lakers series.
Curry stepped on the sideline, and the Warriors turn it over. You're going to hear those boos every time Jimmy Butler touches the basketball.
Which is amazing to me. I know it didn't end well, but Jimmy Butler came here and ended a 13-year playoff drought for the Wolves. You'd think there'd be at least a little appreciation.
That was in 2018, but then he demanded a trade as Julius Randle gets a little fade away.
Well, that's what Jimmy always does. Eventually, he's going to demand a trade from Golden State, too.
He is the bridge burner, and this was maybe the first bridge that he burned. He was traded from Minnesota to Philadelphia the following season. That was a November trade during the 18-19 season. And Butler, coach, has not played here in Minnesota at Target Center in 4 years. It's been since 2021 as Edwards misses badly and Podziemski with a rebound. And now we're starting to see how much rust is involved with this long layoff for the Timberwolves.
Well, and Edwards went 0 for 11 from 3 in Game 5 of the Lakers series, so he's now missed at least 13 in a row as Curry gets his first one to go.
Timberwolves were 7 for 47. They missed 43 pointers in their Game 5 win, the knockout win against the Lakers. Rudy Gobert did a lot of damage in that game with the mismatch. Podziemski left open, and Podziemski knocks one in.
Well, look, I think it's impressive that you can win on the road in an NBA playoff game against the team that has LeBron James and Luka Doncic when you're 7 for 47 for 3.
Gobert gets inside. The run right now, 11-4 Golden State.
Well, just look out on the floor and you can see the size difference, not just with Gobert, really the team overall. Minnesota, a much longer team than Golden State.
Here's Draymond Green, and out it goes. Podziemski took a shot by Randall, but Podziemski committed the foul. And asking the officials to watch the elbows. Podziemski could be a key in this series. You start to look to the others on the rosters. Edwards, major star, Olympian gold medalist, conference finals last year in the West. And of course, Jimmy Butler has unlocked the Warriors in a significant way. Jaden McDaniels in the right place, able to score it, and it's a 3-point Warriors lead.
That's already 3 offensive rebounds from Minnesota. We're the best offensive rebounding team in the first round of the playoffs, and the Warriors struggled to keep Houston off the glass, and now struggling early to keep Minnesota off the glass.
Wolves, #1 offensive rebounding team in the league this year. Great perimeter defense. There's McDaniels. Anthony Edwards is down, grabbing at his right ankle. Gobert comes in, gets it, and puts it back. Gobert just flying to the glass.
Rudy Gobert scored 14 points, Brian, in the first 4 games of the Lakers series and had 27 points and 24 rebounds in Game 5. Has 6 points and 5 rebounds already tonight.
Good find by Curry, and Butler missed it. And Timberwolves fans enjoy that. 6-0 Minnesota run here. 5:45 remaining in the first, just underway here in round 2. It's time for creativity equals success. It's presented by Adobe. Buddy Hield in that Game 7, 33 points, made 9 threes, tied a Game 7 NBA record. Rudy Gobert, Game 5, closeout game, that massive 20-plus double-double. So we're talking about 2 players, Stan, that didn't do much in the previous games of each series, and then in the closeout games were historically good.
Absolutely, and we've seen that a lot in NBA history. We've got a foul here away from the ball on the Warriors. Steve Kerr wants the same call at the other end, is what he's saying. And that honestly comes up a lot with coaches. They're not disputing necessarily the call that is made. They're simply disputing the non-calls at the other end of the floor.
Keith Santos, his first minutes on the floor, picked up that foul. Naz Reid running with Dante DiVincenzo. Minnesota has an outstanding bench. And DiVincenzo, nice little fadeaway baseline jumper.
Nice for him to see that one go. Played well in the first round, but did not shoot well. 30% from the floor and 19% from 3 in the first round against the Lakers.
See Gary Payton II on the floor. He missed Game 7 in Houston with an illness. Oh, Curry over the head, and Payton can't cash it in. McDaniels up high for the rebound. Minnesota's got the lead. DiVincenzo, the former Warrior, kicks it to the corner. Here's McDaniels, great ball movement, and McDaniels cannot finish it.
Well, and Minnesota, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league, but they struggled in the first round against the Lakers at only 32%, and they start this game at 0 for 6.
Here's Curry, short. And Edwards secures. McDaniels, Moses Moody on him, and now over Draymond. McDaniels hits. Jaden McDaniels had a couple of big games in that Lakers series. Went for 30 in Game 3, went for 25 in the opener in Game 1. Wolves on a 10-0 run here and have jumped out to a 16-13 lead.
Well, look, Anthony Edwards has not scored yet the Timberwolves are ahead, and in Game 5 of that Lakers series, he only had 15 on 5 for 19 shooting and 0 for 11 from 3. But they got the huge game from Rudy Gobert in that game and were able to overcome it and get a road win. So this isn't just a one-man team.
Kevon Looney enters the mix here in the first quarter. Saw him play in game 7. Shot clock at 2. Moses Moody, no good. And DiVincenzo pokes it free. That hit the, no, it's going to be a foul. I beg your pardon. So that is going to be a foul on Minnesota.
Well, Steve Kerr has already used 9 guys in this game. And Post and Kuminga are also guys who played significant minutes in games in the first round. So he's used 11 different people. Chris Finch is basically going to stick to 8 guys. Nickeil Alexander-Walker will get here, if not late in this quarter, in the second round, and that'll be it for the T-Wolves rotation.
Wow, Payton able to swipe that rebound away from Gobert. Sets up Curry for 3. And Chris Finch wants a timeout. All tied at 16. Stops a 10-0 run. Stephen Curry's already gotten loose for 2 3-pointers. He's got 8 quick ones here in the first. You're watching the 2025 NBA playoffs, presented by Google.
Can I kick it?
Welcome back to Target Center, all tied up at 16. Now for the Timberwolves, they're running on 5 days of rest and recovery. For the Warriors, it has been a grueling 7-game stretch against the Houston Rockets. The last 48 hours have been all about prep and recovery. A midday flight yesterday, guys. Recovery work after landing, film session yesterday evening, then shoot around this morning. Steph Curry told me this is what you train for. It may take a little longer to get my body ready than it did when I was 23, but we all end up in the same arena knowing how to prepare ourselves for a game. It's a talking point, but not really relevant to us. And guys, he also added that playing every other day has actually helped them to stay in a rhythm in the playoffs. The bottom line, the Warriors aren't using extra mileage as an excuse here for game 1.
Well, they've been through it before, and you're right. This is their 9th playoff game, the Warriors. 6 consecutive with just 1 day in between, as Naz Reid able to get the friendly roll. And I'll ask you, Coach, so if the Warriors keep on this run here, if they get to a game 5, it'll be 10 straight games of every other day for Golden State. Is Stephen Curry accurate when he's saying it's a good part of the rhythm for them, or do you feel like there's going to be some diminishing returns?
Well, could be some fatigue, but the normal rhythm for NBA players is to play every other day. That's what they're used to. That's what happens more than anything else. You rarely get more than the every other day stuff, and that's just the rhythm of the league. And so I think they're comfortable in it. I think it's like a pitcher, Brian, you know, as a baseball guy, they're used to throwing every 5th day. When you throw in the 6th day or the 7th day, an extra day, not all guys like the extra time off.
Here's Randall on a feed from DiVincenzo, sprays it back out. Alexander Walker with a miss. I think really the more interesting aspect of this to watch is the rust on the Wolves after 5 days off. Anthony Edwards has started 0 for 4 in his first 10 minutes. He has not scored. Does have a couple of rebounds. Steve Kerr is using a bunch of different combinations in this first quarter as well, as Moody almost traveled, puts up a bad shot.
Well, one thing you're trying to do in game 1 is to get a great move by Naz Reid, but in game 1 you're trying to get a feel for what combinations you like against the other team. Got to understand, these two teams really didn't play against each other in the regular season, because the last time they played was January the 15th, almost a month before Jimmy Butler came over. So they're really trying to feel each other out here.
Warriors won the season series 3-1. They played 4 times in about a 2-month span as Moody just dribbles it out. Shot clock violation. It is loud inside Target Center. Alex Rodriguez is here. Minority owner, hoping to take over as the principal owner soon. He has been a presence at all these games. Here's Randall now, driving, sprays, DiVincenzo, no. And Naz Reid with the offensive board. Alexander Walker, and the pass was too hot for Randall. And it is a Minnesota giveaway. Wolves are 0 for 8 from beyond the arc. We remind you that the NBA on TNT tonight is brought to you by the Kia Telluride X-Line. Kia, the official automotive partner of the NBA.
Well, the Wolves are 0 for 8 from the three-point line, following up a game where they were 7 for 47 from the three-point line. And this is a team that on the year was 4th in the league in three-point shooting at almost 38%. 5th in makes at 15 a game. So this is a team that has relied on the threes and just hasn't been able to get them to go down of late.
Great moves by Edwards. He misses again, misses twice. Anthony Edwards cannot buy one right now.
Anthony Edwards now 5 of his last 25 from the floor.
Buddy Hield, the Game 7 star, missed it close.
This is a pitcher's duel right now, B.A.
It is. Your baseball reference. It's 20-16. Wolves have the lead, and Buddy Hield finds Payton, who puts it down. Payton is back after an illness, knocked him out of Game 7. Says he hopes to be able to give him 20-plus minutes tonight back in his normal rotation.
See, Julius Randle looks a little tired right here in front of us. The pace has been up, and you haven't played a game in 5 days. You know, people think, oh, the rest is good, and it will be maybe over time. But you get winded when you first come back. Guys after coming back from the All-Star break always do.
Got late clock, had to put up a tough shot, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. A rock fight, some rust, a little fatigue, a little bit of both. Two teams coming into this second round in much different ways. 20-18 Minnesota. You're watching the second round presented by Wingstop. You can watch hit shows like Up and Adams with Kay Adams and Run It Back featuring Lou Will, Chandler Parsons, and Michelle Beadle on FanDuel TV. Free on all your favorite devices. Downtown Minneapolis, moments ago, Brandon Pajemski with Lauren Jabara.
Brandon, you guys going up against one of the best rebounding teams. They already have 6 offensive rebounds in that first quarter. How do you limit them a little bit more on the glass?
I think it starts just with our man-to-man defense. If we can stay out of rotation, it helps us keep a body on a body. And then we're not kind of scrambling around to go and hit somebody. It's tough, man. I mean, we're a small team, they're a big team. They're going to get some kind of inside the Houston series, but over the course of time, can we get more?
Speaking of them being a big team, they're long on the defensive side. How do you continue to penetrate, move the ball inside, kick it out for threes?
Yeah, the way to counter pressure is with your own pressure, and just be aggressive. Obviously, they know a bunch of our stuff is for Steph and Jimmy, obviously, and so they're heating up the other guys. Other guys got to make plays.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Brandon Pajemski, we appreciate his time. He knocked down 1 3-pointer in his first window of playing time. Warriors grab the lead on a Draymond Green 3-pointer. Green with the box out, able to secure the rebound to Butler. We have not had a free throw in this game.
We have not, and Minnesota now 0 for 9 from 3. The Warriors plus 15 points from the three-point line. The T-Wolves plus 10 in the paint.
Naz Reid fouls Green right in front of Bill Kennedy.
Yep, he right in the face with that left hand.
First foul on Naz Reid, just underway in the second quarter here. We have had some incredible games in the second round already, 4 of them, as a matter of fact. And the last 3 have come right down to the last possessions. The road team has won all of the games thus far in the second round, a perfect 4-0. Indiana 2-0 in Cleveland. So the Denver Nuggets went on the road in Oklahoma City, and the Knicks with a comeback win in Boston. And it is the Warriors who are the rare underdog in the playoffs. But as the 7th seed, they enter here against the 6th seed in the Wolves. I think both of us would agree these teams at this point with this personnel don't look like 6 and 7 seeds.
No, they look like 2 and 3 seeds to me. I mean, both these teams struggled early. The Wolves were only 32 and 29, and then Randle came back, and they really started to play well. The Warriors were under 500 before the Jimmy Butler trade. They finished strong down the stretch. These are 2 of the best teams in the NBA.
It's going to be an offensive foul. Curry stood in there and took the charge. Randle coming in hot.
Randle wants a challenge.
And Chris Finch says not going to do it right now. Curry was in place, looked like his foot was right on that dotted line. That's not the line that matters.
No,
Maybe Randall.
That's well out of the restricted area.
Curry for three, no good. Butler, offensive rebound. He's got 2 here in the last 2 trips down the floor.
Wow, that's now 11 offensive rebounds combined.
Turnover, bad pass, Draymond Green. Randall and Butler running the floor with the steal. Little sauce on Randall's pass, and it's a Minnesota turnover. Butler drives it on DiVincenzo, comes up short, but a foul. And free throws for Jimmy Butler.
First free throws of the game right here. It took us almost 14 minutes. Jimmy Butler going hard. DiVincenzo tries to get there, but he's still moving. And Jimmy Butler will be at the line where Jimmy has spent a good part of his career.
Big part of his game, getting to the line. Warriors a different team with Jimmy Butler. They went 28-11 with Butler. They were great on the road. They won 9 of their last 11 road games. Unable to hit the first. We remind you, the NBA on TNT is brought to you by Haagen-Dazs. Savor this moment with salted caramel macadamia. Stan.
Very good. Shouldn't be totally surprised by the low-scoring part of this. 2 of the best defensive teams in the league. Once Butler came to the Warriors, they were actually the best team over the last 31 games on the defensive end. And in March and April, the Timberwolves, 7th defensively in the league, and the Warriors in the zone. Minnesota throws over the top, but Gobert can't convert.
Long drought without scoring for the Wolves. It continues here. Curry and Draymond, dynamic duo, and that's Naz Reid blowing that up. Naz Reid has a couple of excellent defensive moments here early. And Alexander Walker, another missed three-pointer. Quentin Post secures the rebound.
So coming off 7 for 47, Minnesota 0 for 10.
Ouch.
From 3 to start this game, a team that was 4th in the NBA in three-point percentage.
Curry dancing with Alexander Walker. Got it. Stephen Curry, as only he can do.
And Steve Kerr just shakes his head. Not in disbelief, because he's seen it for a long, long time.
Remember, Curry only had 3 first-half points in Game 7 Sunday. DiVincenzo, another miss, 0 for 11. Minnesota has missed their last 9 field goal attempts.
The Warriors playing a lot of zone right here. One of the things we talked about in the last series, not just the Warriors who played it well, but just zone defense a lot more prevalent in the NBA now as Curry converts the floater.
Well, Curry's hurt though, Coach. Something grabbed him. He's asking for relief from that bench. I'm not sure what it was, but he came out of there hobbled. High off the window, no good. 10 in a row missed by Minnesota.
It's just this Warrior defense has been good.
Curry's not right. Draymond Green fires up a three-pointer, hits another one. Draymond Green with 2 threes. And Chris Finch gets the timeout. This is a 14-0 run, but there is concern for Stephen Curry. After that little runner in the lane, which followed this three-pointer, Curry on his way to the locker room. A terrific crew in the tape room tracking this all the way, finding the moment where Curry showed us for the first time. That was after the three-pointer. He's grabbing at his left hamstring. Now stay with it here. We'll try to give you as much as we can before play resumes, but it's obviously not comfortable. And then the Warriors get the ball back. This is all on tape. Gets the ball back, Curry, that little push shot. Immediately grabs at it again and immediately asks Steve Kerr for a replacement. And now, Coach, he's back in the locker room. Lauren Jabara is back there. When she gets an answer, we'll get it to you. That's tough, though. That did not look good.
Not at all. And the hamstring, as you know, can become a very bad injury.
But Draymond Green going Steph Curry out here, knocking down yet another three-pointer.
Well, this reminds me of when Magic Johnson had to fill in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and played center. Draymond Green said, okay, no Steph Curry, I'll be Steph Curry.
Warriors off and running here, and Buddy Hield missed it. Naz Reid has really done a nice job defensively. He's disrupted a number of plays. No points, 6.5 minutes and counting. And Naz Reid finally scores for Minnesota. They had missed 11 straight.
They're shooting 32% and are 0 for 11 from 3 and have not gone to the free throw line and have 5 turnovers.
That was Minnesota's first basket of the second quarter. Butler finds Green, the hot hand, and he stays hot. Oh, Draymond Green delivering 1-3 after another. He's 4 for 5 from beyond the arc.
He's being guarded by Rudy Gobert. So Rudy's a rim protector. Draymond not a great three-point shooter normally, so they're willing to give him some shots, and right now it's not working in their favor.
0 for 12 for Minnesota beyond the arc. Disaster window of time here for the Wolves. Warriors lead it by 14. Jimmy Butler has Gobert. Looking for Draymond Green. Butler gets inside. Gobert got a piece of that. That's why it went to double dribble. And that's a shot clock violation. Another good stand by Minnesota.
Draymond Green just lighting it up tonight. 4 threes, 14 points already, the leading scorer in the game. No one for Minnesota has more than 6. Green has 14, Curry has 13. No one more than 6. Draymond Green with 12 already in this second quarter.
12 of his first 14 as Jimmy Butler and Buddy Hield will sit.
Warriors go back to their zone, which Steve Kerr wanted to use a lot unless Anthony Edwards and DiVincenzo were in the game together. Anthony Edwards now 0 for 7, 0 for 3, and Minnesota 0 for 13 from 3.
Halfway through the second quarter, Podziemski rises up, the lefty missed it, and Gobert secures the rebound. Rudy Gobert picks up his 6th rebound. He's got 6 points. Randle fouled, and Julius Randle will go to the line. This will be the first free throws for Minnesota.
Over 18 minutes into the game, they shot over 24 free throws a game in the first round against the Lakers.
First foul by Golden State this quarter, and first free throws for the Wolves. And Julius Randle was an all-star with the Knicks last couple of years, only 46 games last year. Significant trade to get here. NBA playoff schedule continues tomorrow. TNT doubleheader with Knicks Celtics and Nuggets Thunder after their thrilling Game 1. Game 2's set up for tomorrow. For more on these games, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app.
Well, we see Steve Kerr early in the game. He's already used 10 guys, significant minutes off the bench. So when people talk about the fatigue factor going through all of this, he's not leaving his guys out there for long stints right now. He's using everybody. Guy Santos didn't get a lot of minutes late in that series. And now Warriors taking a timeout with a 12-point lead as Minnesota continues to struggle.
Let's check out tonight's Splash Play presented by Mountain Dew. And just when you thought the Splash Brother era was over with the Warriors, Draymond Green. He's in there tonight. Stan, he is going off from beyond the arc. 4 made 3-pointers. He's got 14 points. While the Timberwolves have yet to connect from 3-point range. Green's season high for made threes is 5. His playoff career high is 8. Had a monster game against the Portland Trailblazers 9 years ago, back in 2016. Warriors with the ball. Stephen Curry still back in the locker room. And that's poked away from behind. Turnover. Here come the Wolves. Edwards turned away. DiVincenzo run off the 3-point line. DiVincenzo drives, hangs, and missed it. Gobert had it in his hands for a moment, knocked away, and it'll be Wolves ball.
Well, we saw Anthony Edwards with the steal at the other end, struggling mightily offensively tonight. The one thing I love about him, he's a true two-way guy. That was defending Jimmy Butler, who rarely turns the ball over. 29 assists and 3 turnovers in the first round. But against Anthony Edwards' defense, he gets a steal.
Minnesota has one made field goal in the second quarter. We're 7 minutes into it. Randall, a flurry of moves, comes up short, and Podziemski is fouled. Loose ball foul on Gobert. Podziemski took a shot to the face.
We're going to see Steve Kerr already use his 11th guy. That's Hield and now Jonathan Kuminga come in the game. I've said this for years. If you play for the Warriors, if you play for Steve Kerr, stay ready, because he's going to use at some point everybody on his bench. He's used 11 in this game. You see it here. Gobert certainly throws him down. I think Podziemski held him first, but he definitely threw him down. Steve Kerr's also used Pat Spencer this year, certainly used Trace Jackson-Davis a lot. This guy uses his entire roster every year.
Every NBA team has a stay-ready group, and Steve Kerr really means it. You stay ready, better be ready.
Well, that's just it. Everybody has a stay-ready group, but most of the guys are staying ready for no reason because they're actually not going to play.
Gobert got the block and a shot clock violation. And we have a report from the Warriors locker room. We hear from Lauren Jabara.
Yeah, guys, I just got some unfortunate news from the Warriors PR staff. Steph Curry, officially a left hamstring strain, will not return to tonight's game. 13 points in 13 minutes for Steph Curry on 5 of 9 from the field, but again, left hamstring strain will not return to tonight's game.
Laura, thank you for that. That is tough news for the Warriors and their fans. Stephen Curry, a hamstring injury. We showed you the plays where he first indicated to us that it was injured. Turnover, Minnesota. Kuminga with a head of steam, and he lost it out of bounds. That'll be Minnesota ball. 4:07 left in this second quarter.
Well, so what do you do if you're the Warriors? Number one, you lean on your defense. People always think of the Warriors because of Steph Curry as an offensive team, but in the Steve Kerr era, they have been great defensively, and we said since Jimmy Butler came to them, they've been the best defensive team in the league. And then second, remember, they do have Jimmy Butler, who's been a primary scorer in most places that he's been.
Another turnover, and DiVincenzo looking up top. They reset it. Edwards driving on Buddy. Edwards, no. And Looney with the rebound. Edwards was sure he was fouled. Here goes Looney to the basket. Looney lays it in.
Well, Anthony Edwards staying down the floor to complain about the call rather than run back gives the Warriors that basket.
And Naz Reid turns it over. Boy, Minnesota out of sorts right now. Just 2 made baskets in the second quarter. The other 2 points coming on free throws. They led 20-18 after the first quarter and have only scored 6 points. And Draymond Green, tonight's sharpshooter, is back on the court.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Wolves play like this in months. I mean, they were the second best offense in the league from the 1st of March on after Julius Randle came back. And just tonight, with all that time off maybe, just have lost their rhythm.
That's going to be a travel. So another turnover. Podziemski's got a little black eye going under his right eye. 10th turnover for Golden State. 8 of those stand coming in this quarter. 5 on the floor for Minnesota. Chris Finch searching for answers. DiVincenzo running the point right now. Randall gets inside. And Steve Kerr immediately calls a timeout. Might be directed at Kuminga. And it's a 10-point game with 2:47 remaining in the first half. And no Curry the rest of the way.
Well, the Timberwolves are struggling, and mainly because their star, Anthony Edwards, is struggling. 0 for 8 from the floor, 0 for 3 from three-point range. Misses a couple right there that are right at the rim. It has been tough for him, and that's coming off a game 5, where he was 5 for 19 and 0 for 11.
Big time scorer, 23 years of age. Got to 9,000 points quickly, third youngest to do that. Set that late in the season as Buddy Hield drives, misses a point-blank layup. It has been ugly as far as putting the ball in the basket goes in this first half.
Well, the Warriors shooting 53% from 3, but barely over 40% on 2s.
Naz Reid's got that quick release and able to run it down. Draymond Green hits the deck. Payton is down as well. Warriors have 2 players on the floor in the backcourt. Now Green and Payton get into the act.
Well, those are the kind of plays Draymond Green's made throughout his career to help the Warriors win basketball games.
Kuminga, offensive rebound, sets up Butler, short. Butler, offensive rebound. Butler, shot fakes, they stay put. Nice D by Edwards. Here goes Draymond Green to the basket.
Jimmy Butler has 4 offensive rebounds already in this game. Only 4 points, he's only 1 for 5, but 4 offensive rebounds.
Naz Reid is limping on his way down the floor. Warriors lead by 12. DiVincenzo, no good. Heat goes on, 0 for 15 from three-point range. Butler with DiVincenzo on him. Cut to the basket and a foul. Buddy Hield with a rim run. Reid is headed to the bench and maybe to the locker room.
Well, he's grabbing at his upper hamstring as he comes out.
It looked awkward all the way around. Payton slipped after Reid had the save. He and Draymond Green were down.
There's a lot of guys hurting out here. Draymond Green's grabbing his head. He hit it on the floor diving. We're like the only healthy people left in here.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's
How healthy are we?
That's a solid point.
And Naz Reid is done for the half with just 1:17 left as Buddy Hield knocks down the first free throw. What a performance. Hield in Game 7 in Houston Sunday, 33 points, 9 made threes, tied Dante DiVincenzo's Game 7 three-point made record. Curry left. It was a 10-point Warriors lead when Curry went to the locker room. He will not return tonight. Warriors have pushed their lead to 14. Edwards gets inside. He's fouled, but he cannot get one to go. It's been one of those nights. Edwards does get to the free throw line, however. It'll be his first free throws of the night.
Well, Anthony Edwards only had 3 games all year, including Game 5, where he didn't make a 3. Now he misses his free throw, and he was 5 for 8 at the line in that Game 5 also.
Don't miss a playoff moment with the NBA app. Download the app today for the latest scores, highlights, and behind-the-scenes access to all the drama. This crowd trying to help out their superstar. Knocks it down. Encouragement from the home fans. Anthony Edwards finally in the box score with his first point of the game as we go under a minute. Oh, Buddy Hield slips to the basket. Gobert there for help. Gobert with a block. Here come the Wolves. Edwards with Payton on him. Finds DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo drives. Tough shot, and that one's in.
That's a tough finish for DiVincenzo there.
Green, the playmaker. Payton. Daniels keeps his feet on the ground. Wolves are disciplined on defense right now. Three-pointers and air ball. Gobert might have got a piece, but Jimmy Butler with his 5th offensive rebound of the half, able to put it back.
They're not going to give Draymond an assist on that.
Warriors lead is 13. They've gone +3 with Curry in the locker room.
Interestingly, Anthony Edwards didn't even want the ball on this last possession.
And now Butler with a steal. Butler heaves it up. And that'll take us to the end of the first half, a rock fight here in game one of this best-of-7 second-round series. 31 points, the lowest first half of the season. And the Warriors in front, minus Stephen Curry. You're watching the second round, presented by Wingstop. To EJ and the gang in Atlanta next. How about that score at the half? 44-31. We welcome you back downtown Minneapolis. Brian Anderson with Stan Van Gundy. What a way to start game one of this second round series between the Warriors and the Wolves. And Coach, this is about Stephen Curry right now. Obviously, it's a low-scoring affair, but Curry goes to the locker room with a hamstring injury. He is not coming back in this game.
No, he's not, and that is obviously a huge loss for the Warriors. They've got to lean on their defense. You see everything that Steph Curry does. You see the leg going down. But they got to lean on their defense, and Jimmy Butler has to become the #1 guy.
Let's get the Minnesota perspective. Lauren Jabara had a chat with Chris Finch at the half.
I did, BA. Talked to him. I said 31 points in the first half. What's your message to the team? He said, plain and simple, we were not good offensively. We took a lot of bad shots. We have to be more aggressive, have to create spacing, and most importantly, shoot the ball with confidence. I said, defensively, you like that you held them to 44? He said, it felt promising. Thought that we rebounded okay, but we need to be better. The big emphasis, have to be better in transition, get out and run. He said we had a few chances, but haven't converted. And on the injury update, guys, I'm still waiting on an update on Naz Reid. We'll keep you posted if I hear anything.
Naz Reid, thank you, Lauren, was on the floor, working out during the halftime break, trying to get himself right once again. We'll see if he returns as Gary Payton II knocks down the three-pointer. He's the one who gets to start for Curry. 31 points allowed in the first half. Franchise history, that is the #1 mark in the playoffs for the Golden State Warriors. The Minnesota Timberwolves scored 11 points in the second quarter. They made 4 baskets. They have not had an offer from beyond the arc in a half all year like they did in this particular game. They were 0 for 15. Matter of fact, Stan, you got to go back to the January of 2018 to find the last half of basketball for the Wolves without a made 3.
I mean, that's incredible. I mean, and look, you're talking going back 7 years with a half that bad. 175 halves this year, and that was the 175th that took them to not make a 3. Just incredible. And yet, especially with Steph Curry in the locker room the rest of the night, you got to feel good that you got a chance if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Well, the major question coming into this game one, rest versus rust, and I think both have had an effect. Stephen Curry obviously playing all these games and all these minutes and all this travel, and the hamstring couldn't survive this game one. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves just can't buy a basket. They do not look like they are connected at all. The game is eluding them right now. Be a jump ball. And let's go back to Lauren. You got an update on Naz Reid. What'd you learn, Lauren?
Yeah, quick update. Naz Reid, he's available to play the second half, guys.
All right, that's good. We saw Naz Reid take a nasty spill, and it was a lot going on. It was an ankle, a hip, looked like his head. And he had to take himself out of the game at the end of that second quarter.
Rudy Gobert just throws away that outlet pass. Gary Payton right there gets to a jump ball, then wins the jump ball and gets it to Draymond Green, who misses a 3, a rare miss for Draymond tonight. By the way, at halftime, Brian, friend of yours too, Tom Izzo, trying to take credit for Draymond Green shooting. If you're going to do that, then you got to take credit for him shooting under 25% in the first round.
Jimmy Butler on a great feed from Draymond Green. Noted shooting coach Tom Izzo.
Yeah, that's really not what Tom Izzo's known for. He's known for a lot of great coaching, but not that.
Green knocked down 4 threes in that first half. See if Minnesota can get their feet under him right now. Randall dropping the shoulder. McDaniels finds Mike Conley, and Conley in and out. That was halfway down. And the drought continues, 16 consecutive misses. And Jaden McDaniels just grabs Podziemski. Frustration is boiling right now for the Wolves.
That's what Draymond Green does. Great passer, but here's what happened, right? Draymond Green made 4 threes. So Rudy Gobert's not standing back in the lane like he normally is on Draymond Green. Draymond making those threes opened up passing angles for him that normally are not there against the Wolves and Rudy Gobert.
The Houston Rockets kind of took Draymond Green out of that playmaking role for a good chunk of that 7-game series in the opening round. That's going to be a foul on Payton. Offensive foul on the screen. Conley hits a deck. Draymond, while that was a matchup issue, in this series, Draymond feels like he's going to be kind of back in his playmaker role, and he's already played the role of shooter in this one with the 4 made threes.
No question about that. And then at this end, because Rudy Gobert is not really an offensive force other than on the offensive glass, they're able to play Draymond Green on Julius Randle, and Jimmy Butler plays Rudy Gobert.
This has been a mess for the Minnesota Timberwolves after an impressive series win over the Lakers, as McDaniels will turn around off the glass. Jaden McDaniels has had a few moments. He's been the lone bright spot. He's got 8 points. He's made half his shots.
He averaged 17 in that Lakers series.
Buddy Hield rattles in and out. Edwards with the rebound.
And that's Edwards' 7th rebound of the night. 8th rebound of the night, I'm sorry. So he is finding ways to do other things.
Conley finds Randle. Randle gets to the paint. Randle, the lefty, missed it. And it is Podziemski with the rebound. Draymond Green, the hub of the wheel, finds Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield delivers a 3-ball.
Buddy was 0 for 8 until that bucket, and that's his first 3. So Anthony Edwards not the only guy struggling to get the ball in the basket tonight.
Anthony Edwards, now 0 for 9, now 0 for 10. He's getting to the rim like he normally does. He can't finish it. Hield in transition. Back-to-back threes. Buddy Hield knocks him down, and Chris Finch wants a timeout. 20-point Golden State lead without Curry on the floor. And it's Buddy ball once again. He's arrived here in the second half. Watching the 2025 NBA playoffs presented by Google. Let's take a look at our Google search trends, and you can bet this is going to be up there. A breakout search in the U.S., hamstring recovery, with Stephen Curry leaving this game in the second quarter with the Warriors up 10 with a hamstring strain, as Lauren reported. Will not return to this game, and let's hope it is mild, but it still feels like it's going to be some time. Problem for the Wolves is they cannot score the basketball. 11 second quarter points. They have just 4 in this third quarter, and they're still sitting on 35 points as we play in the third quarter. Naz Reid back on the floor. Naz Reid able to deliver a 3-ball, the first of the game, and they rejoice at Target Center.
Well, they're up to 6% now from 3.
The lid is off after 16 consecutive missed threes. Buddy Hield back to work, and he draws the foul, and that one goes. Chance at a 3-point play for Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield has 8 straight, got a chance at 9 in a row.
And Steve Kerr using the 12th guy in the game as Pat Spencer comes in the game. Pat Spencer, the only guy ejected from the first round series that had all those flagrant fouls and technicals. Of all the guys to get ejected, Pat Spencer.
Pat Spencer for a headbutt. And Buddy Hield, 3 straight possessions, and Hield delivers 3-point plays either from beyond the arc or the old school 3-point play there. 9 in a row for Hield. Anthony Edwards drives and scores. Man, did that take a while. Edwards his first field goal after 10 consecutive misses.
28 minutes into the game to get his first bucket.
Buddy Hield once again. Buddy Hield missed it. DiVincenzo the rebound. Spencer puts it away from behind. Pajemski hits the floor. Did he get a timeout? He did. Warriors timeout.
Pat Spencer immediately making an impact. This is what the Warriors bench guys do, but here's Anthony Edwards. Could this get him going?
Hey, every stop, we run and we get the ball out and we push it down the floor. Keep pushing the ball. You guys are doing a great job running them off the three-point line. Let's continue that, right?
State Farm audio assist from Warriors head coach Steve Kerr.
I'm going to question the strategy, though, Brian.
Okay.
Why do you want to run the Timberwolves off the three-point line? I think you want to push them out there and let them shoot it right now.
That's a great call. They're 1 for 17 out there. Normally, you would want to run the Wolves. The reason it's such an anomaly tonight because of how good they've been all year shooting the three.
Fantastic. 5th in the league in threes made at 15 a game. 4th in three-point percentage at 38%, but they struggled. The only place really they struggled in that first round series against the Lakers, they only shot 32%.
Late clock here, down to 5. Pajemski missed it. Edwards with a rebound. Saw Chris Finch's hair right there. His hair is kind of symbolic of how this game has gone. It's all over the place for the Wolves. That is going to go, and the toughest attempt of the night by Edwards. He scores it with a foul, and Anthony Edwards a chance at a three-point play.
Look at that. Splits 2 defenders, goes up through contact.
So strong. Flexed on Draymond.
And here's the thing. Had a bad night coming off a bad game 5, but this guy strikes fear into the hearts of everybody, and he could get it going and have a huge second half, and quite honestly, the Wolves need it.
58-43. Minnesota trying to fight their way back in here. The Warriors without Stephen Curry the rest of the game. Out with a hamstring strain. Jonathan Kuminga getting some run here tonight. Played over 7 minutes in game 7, and Kuminga draws the contact. Naz Reid with the foul. And Jonathan Kuminga, an offensive weapon, will go to the line. 3rd foul on Naz Reid.
Well, good job here. Gets into the lane, little step back and shot fake. Naz Reid keeps going forward. One of the best ways to draw fouls is that step back to a shot fake. You just get the guy leaning towards you. He doesn't even have to leave his feet when you draw the foul.
First one's down for Kuminga. And Alexander Walker on the floor as we take a look at our FanDuel Live point spread for tonight's game. Started at -6. Warriors have flipped that script, however. Now +6.5. Jonathan Kuminga, who hardly found the floor late in the season. He did miss 22 games January through the early part of March. Missed 2 months of time and was out of the rotation. He played in 3 games, actually got a start in the first round. The game after Jimmy Butler was injured and did not play. That was game 3. Second chance here for Minnesota.
Golden State now switching everything 1 through 5.
McDaniels knocks down a jumper.
He's become a very reliable offensive weapon for this Timberwolves team.
This game is long from over. Buddy Hield drives high off the glass. Hield having a big 3rd quarter.
Wow. One hand, left hand finish. Not what Buddy Hield is known for.
Kuminga will foul Naz Reid. Reid hits the deck. Buddy Hield with 11 in the quarter, coach.
Wow. Well, Buddy Hield stepped up, as we talked about, in game 7 of the Rockets series, and now they know they've got to get offense from other places tonight with Steph Curry in the locker room the rest of the game. But what they really know is their defense has got to hold. This isn't going to be a 55 or 60 point half. for the Warriors, not against this Minnesota defense.
There goes Naz Reid to the basket. Nice move. Reid puts it in. Warriors lead is 15. Reid with 11 now. 5 in the quarter. Looney and Moody, the 2 subs for the Warriors. Spencer working with Butler. Spencer. And, hook shot. Missed it.
I don't know.
Spencer with the offensive rebound.
To get it, but I don't know if Spencer going at Jaden McDaniels is the matchup you're looking for.
Butler with Edwards on him. Butler rises up short. Excellent defense by Edwards.
I know they're up 15, but I think they're going to need more on the offensive end from Jimmy Butler.
And here comes Edwards. And Steve Kerr can sense it. Minnesota down 13, starting to get a little mojo now. This crowd getting into it. Kuminga backs down Edwards, swipe down. Here's Butler. Butler secures it.
And Butler's the guy that's got to get going with Steph Curry out.
McDaniels gets into the paint, puts that one in at 6'9", just shoots it right over the defenders. Now the offense starting to flow a little bit for the Wolves. Buddy Hield is coming right back on the floor as well.
Well, not a lot of shot creation out there.
Oh, look at Spencer.
For the Warriors, but Spencer, seems to me like every time Spencer plays, Brian, he plays well.
He's not accustomed to being in a playoff game when it's this tight, as DiVincenzo missed it. But the Warriors need him tonight. Another offensive rebound sets up a second chance for Minnesota. Looney out on Edwards. He gets a step. Edwards drives and scores. And they're coming easy at the basket for Anthony Edwards now. 9 in this third quarter after just 1 made free throw in the first half. And a foul on Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Edwards just having great success now, getting to the rim way too easily. It's one of the things Steve Kerr talked about before the game, is they couldn't be letting Anthony Edwards go by people and get into the paint.
Minnesota on a 15-8 run, covers the last 4+ minutes. Warriors with the ball.
4 minutes seems like an explosion for Minnesota tonight.
Well, remember, they only scored 11 in a 12-minute second quarter. Payton out to Butler. Butler with DiVincenzo on him. Butler, oh my goodness, he fires it off the glass, trying to draw a foul. Didn't get the whistle, but knocks in a prayer. Reid lost the handle, turned it over. Spencer pushes it. Butler finds Buddy Hield. Hield kicks it out to Payton. Everybody getting a touch here. Now Hield resets and hits a 3.
Well, in addition to the shooting woes for Minnesota, Golden State's energy and quickness is just a lot higher than Minnesota's tonight.
Last touch by Spencer. That'll be Wolves ball. How about this one? I mean, prayer answered. Maybe in the regular season you get that call and it's an and one, but not in the playoffs. Buddy Hield has 14 now in the quarter.
The Warriors look a step quicker than Minnesota on everything. They look like they've got more legs, more energy. Steve Kerr's made liberal use of his bench. 12 guys have played in this game.
Edwards guarded by Payton. And fires one too hot for Julius Randle.
And in addition to the shooting, that's 13 turnovers for Minnesota.
Edwards runs it down, gets a steal. Alexander Walker. DiVincenzo, Randle around the horn it goes. Naz Reid, no. That's Spencer at the controls here. He pushes. Spencer with that hook shot. That's his shot, coach. It's a running hook shot.
Holy cow. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is impressive.
8-0 Golden State run. DiVincenzo short. And Reid's gonna pick up the foul. Loose ball foul on Naz Reid, which is his 4th. Pat Spencer, right out of the YMCA.
You talked about it earlier, Brian, as we get the foul here on Naz Reid. Looks like we're going to have a challenge, though, by Minnesota. But you talked about it early, the Stay Ready group. Stay ready. That's Pat Spencer, Warriors by 21. Here's the challenge on the foul. Wow, there's not a lot of contact there, but with an airborne player, there doesn't need to be a lot. It'll be interesting. They spent a lot of time looking at this, and Zach Zarba will be the guy giving us the announcement.
Which will be thorough and well presented.
After review, Reid makes illegal contact to the right arm of Green, preventing him from getting the rebound. Therefore, the ruling on the floor stands as a loose ball foul. It's an unsuccessful challenge.
You got to clip the Zach Zarba announcements and send them around to all the leagues.
Well,
NFL
but you know
reps.
what? Maybe one of the other top guys is on this crew of giving the announcements, Billy Kennedy, one of the great announcers among the referees crew.
Timberwolves fans upset about that call. Bill Kennedy explaining it to Naz Reid. That's number 4 on Reid.
You know what I'm thinking, though, Brian? I think they need to bring in guys like you to the referees camp early in the fall and need to work on this part of it. Like, Zach's great, but some of these guys could use some work from a professional announcer.
Yeah, they love hearing announcer opinions on things like this. That's why they never look over here at you for help on a call.
Oh, man, they should. I would be right there for them.
You're just trying to help them.
I've always been there for them.
Green knocks down the first. You're watching the NBA on TNT. It is brought to you by Visible. Score fast speeds and great coverage with Visible. Warriors started the quarter up 13, built it to 20. Timberwolves went on a 15-8 run. They got within 13, but now the Warriors on a 10-0 run. They're Minnesota enduring their largest deficit this postseason. Trailed the Lakers by 22 in game 2. And down 23 here late in the 3rd quarter. Randall barrels his way to the basket and puts it in.
Strong move there. If you want to know the kind of desperation the Timberwolves feel right now, they've been in an 8-man rotation for a long, long time, a couple of months, as DiVincenzo gets a steal, and they're going to go with Terrence Shannon coming in as the 9th guy in this game.
Randall gets his own. Randall fouled. Julius Randall will go to the free throw line. Wolves fans respecting the effort here at Target Center. Randall against the Lakers had a slow start, just 16 points in game 1 of that series, and then ripped off 4 excellent games. Went for 27, 22, 25, and then had 23 in the closeout game 5. He shot 39% from 3-point range in that opening series win. And Randall knocks down the first, and we kick it over to Lauren Jabara.
Dante DiVincenzo talked about Julius this morning. He said he's been amazing, an all-NBA guy and a huge reason why we won that series. He said, what I love about him, though, is he doesn't need the spotlight. He hears the criticism, but doesn't let it affect him. He knows the trust we have in him in the locker room, and he's been making smart decisions and playing some really beautiful basketball. And also a big week for the Randall family. They followed up a solid series by welcoming their 3rd child, a daughter, to join their 2 sons this week. It's the Randall starting 5 guys.
Nice, well done. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, how about that? So up ahead, Spencer, and Spencer, that's going to be an offensive foul. Terrence Shannon finally gets some playing time in this very tight Minnesota rotation. Immediately has an impact, the rookie out of Illinois.
That's a great job by Shannon staying in there. And that's the way you make an immediate impact. You don't have to come in firing shots. Find a way to help your team win. Gave up his body right there.
14 turnover for Golden State, 5th in the quarter here.
Warriors go into that zone.
Wolves down 19 with the ball. Randall to Edwards. Nice catch by Edwards. And we got a whistle and stepped on the sideline. Edwards turns it over.
14th turnover for Minnesota. Look, especially when you're not shooting the ball well, you got to do a better job taking care of the ball. They only averaged a bit over 11 turnovers a game in that series against LA.
Coming to the end of the third quarter. Buddy Hield with Shannon on him. Buddy Hield dancing, three-pointer, no good. And it is Edwards who secures the rebound.
His 11th rebound of the night.
Randall. Shannon now. Shannon tied up by Kuminga in a matchup of double zeros. And that'll be a jump ball with a couple of high flyers in Kuminga and Shannon.
What's great defense by Kuminga. Just never even lets him get the ball up.
$11 to shoot if Minnesota wins the tip. And Spencer taps it over to Draymond Green. Here goes Buddy Hield on the run. Pulls it back, and we'll get into some ball control here. Draymond Green drives, finds Kuminga.
That ball goes to the outside or the baseline. That slot cut that Kuminga just ran is generally open. Great cut, great pass.
Draymond Green with the excellent vision. DiVincenzo, and he is, that's going to be a loose ball foul on Randall. Let's go on the other way.
Look at this baseline drive. Kuminga just cuts down the middle. Excellent cut. Great pass by Draymond Green. One of the best playmakers in the league.
Draymond Green, he's got, we're checking his assists tonight. Sorry, they're just updating it. He's got 6 assists tonight. He's gone over 1,000 assists in the playoffs in his career. 1,003 to be exact, top 15 in that category. In it for a chance to win NBA prizes at MichelobUltra.com/courtside, courtesy of Michelob Ultra Zero. Zero alcohol, 29 calories. Try it today.
Braxton Key becomes the 13th Warrior to play here in the first 3 quarters. Steve Kerr truly making use of everyone on his bench.
This feels a lot like what the Warriors did and had to do prior to Jimmy Butler arriving. They're going deep into that rotation to protect some minutes. So I think the wrong player shot the free throws here. Buddy Hield is supposed to be the shooter. Remember, there was a loose ball foul on the other end. Draymond Green actually shot the first one. And so Buddy Hield will resume.
I think the Warriors would much rather have Buddy Hield shooting a free throw than Draymond Green.
Sure, and they gave him 2.
Well, because they made the mistake, yeah.
Chris Finch is saying, why do we get punished? That's the way the night's gone for the Timberwolves head coach. He's done such a great job here. Buddy Hield knocks them both down, so they got that mess sorted out. I like how Draymond Green just went to the free throw line.
He's been on fire tonight, so why not?
DiVincenzo for 3. Got it. That was pure. Dante DiVincenzo makes just the second three-pointer of the night for the Wolves. It's a 20-point game coming to the end of the third quarter.
Wolves on fire from 3 in this quarter. 2 for 5.
Kuminga, that was a low pass, and DiVincenzo able to get a hand on it. It'll stay Warriors ball. 4.7 remaining.
DiVincenzo, a very underrated defender. We saw the steal when they tried to make the entry pass to Spencer before. DiVincenzo makes it tough.
Clock ticks. Chance at the last one. Buddy Hield Lets it fly, missed it, and that'll take us to the end of the third. Warriors had a 13-point lead at the half. Without Curry, they build on it, go +7 in the third quarter, and they lead by 20. You're watching the second round presented by Wingstop. We go to the fourth in Game 1, Warriors-Wolves. I stand time for Design to Win, presented by Levi's. Warriors shooting and defending the three. How about Minnesota, just 2 for 21. Golden State, meanwhile, with 14 made three-pointers, and Buddy Hield has 3 of those and has come alive in the third quarter.
Yeah, Buddy Hield was 0 for 7 from the floor in the first half, but 16 points here in the third. 3 threes, the running one-hander with the left. Buddy Hield making up for the loss of Steph Curry. But look, if you're Minnesota and you're the 6th-rated defensive team in the league, how do you give up 36 points in the quarter to a Warrior team without Steph Curry?
36-29, the Warriors outscored Minnesota. And Mike Conley comes on, gets a steal, first possession of the fourth. Naz Reid with those 4 fouls, rings one true. Naz Reid hits a 3, just a third of the game for the Wolves.
But it starts with defense, and this is what the Timberwolves have to do. That's how you overcome tough shooting nights. You do it with their defense, and they haven't defended well tonight. Great play there, though, by Mike Conley.
Fourth quarter was winning time for the Wolves against the Lakers. They were +42 in the fourth quarter in that first series as Gobert blocks Draymond Green.
That's the Warriors' 13th turnover of the night, 14 for Minnesota. Still plenty of time for the Wolves, especially with Steph Curry sitting in that locker room.
20-point leads can evaporate in a hurry. Conley finds DiVincenzo, quick release, that's an air ball. And Draymond Green able to get it to Podziemski. Jimmy Butler finds Green, Butler and Green will have to be the tandem here. Kuminga stays on the floor to start this fourth quarter. And Butler, Kuminga set up for 3. Jonathan Kuminga rattles one in.
Great pass there by Butler, his 5th assist of the night. He's got 8 rebounds, 6th offensive, and Podziemski draws an offensive foul. 15th turnover of the night for Minnesota.
Podziemski so adept in just his second year at doing that.
Jimmy Butler here, Kuminga moving to the open area, knocks down the 3.
Butler's got 13 points, 5 assists now. He's got 8 rebounds.
2 steals, finding other ways to help his team, but I still think down the stretch he's going to have to get the ball in his hands and make plays.
They clear it out for him, and DiVincenzo called for the foul. Butler hits the deck.
And Draymond Green playing the role of peacekeeper, absolutely.
Peacekeeper, he's been that way the last couple of games.
He really has, and that's, he took accountability for having lost his composure and saying he wasn't good enough as a leader. He's trying to correct that right now. You've got to give him a lot of credit. Winning is more important than anything else.
I loved everything he said prior to the game, Game 7 Sunday, and after the game as well, as that is knocked out of bounds with 6 to shoot here.
You got to be careful with entry passes around Dante DiVincenzo. He's not going to just let you catch the ball. It's the third one. He's either stolen or deflected.
Draymond Green. Clock ticks to 4. Kuminga in traffic, blocked by Naz Reid. McDaniels finds Reid. Reid drives it, and Reid, that little runner is good.
Reid with 16 points, leading scorer for the Timberwolves on the night.
Butler again guarded by DiVincenzo. Oh, Butler had a look, I thought, passed it up. Podziemski for 3, no good. Gobert clears it away.
You're right, Jimmy Butler's got to shoot that in there. Great to be a playmaker, but right now, the Warriors need scoring. When Jimmy Butler can get a good look He's got to take advantage.
Naz Reid hits a three. Steve Kerr wants a timeout. Minnesota showing life. Shot starting to fall right now. Conley with a great find. Reid wide open. Naz Reid with 8 in the quarter already.
Naz Reid trying to keep the Timberwolves in at 19 on the game. He has all 8 of the Timberwolves points in the quarter. The Timberwolves start the fourth quarter with an 8-3 run, and they have cut it to 15.
Naz Reid has been lights out in the fourth quarters in these playoffs. He's 8 for 8 from three-point range in the fourth quarters of these playoff games. 5 against the Lakers, and the first one here tonight. Warriors coming out of the timeout. Buddy Hield driving on Gobert. Conley hits the ground. That leaves Butler open. That line drive misses. Gobert fetches the rebound, and Spencer fouls him.
The Warriors' spacing was a little bit of a mess there. Here's on the rebound. Spencer's always going to try. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of ball there. That's Spencer looking.
Pat Spencer, highly decorated lacrosse player in college, played at Loyola University, Maryland. Then he transferred to play hoops at Northwestern. He's one of the great collegiate lacrosse players in the country, the best in his prime. But he's found his way in a Warriors playoff game here as Gobert gets it deep and dunks it on Butler.
Well, I'm surprised we haven't seen them try to do a little bit more of that. Butler's been on him for most of the night.
Minnesota chipping away. They're down 13. Here's Jimmy Butler driving on Gobert and a foul.
I like it. Jimmy Butler's going to have to look to score. He's been looking to facilitate all night, but this is great by Minnesota. You got to let Gobert use his size. He's not a classic low post scorer by any means, but if you can get him the ball in the middle of the paint against somebody that much smaller, he's got a chance. That's his first field goal since the first quarter. But Jimmy Butler's got to look to score. There's a great coach at Lipscomb University in the NCAA tournament this year. Lenny Acuff had a great term. He said every team needs a tourniquet, a guy who can stop the bleeding. Jimmy Butler has to be the tourniquet for the Golden State Warriors right now.
With Stephen Curry out of this game the rest of the way, left in the second quarter with a hamstring strain. Lead is 15 for Golden State. There goes Edwards. Gets by Spencer. Edwards is fouled. It goes. The Ant-Man with a chance at a three-point play.
Big-time drive.
It's only 3 times this year he did not make a field goal in an entire half. The first 2 in the regular season were games that mattered, but he didn't need to score. Just 2 attempts and 3 attempts against Brooklyn and Philadelphia.
Late in the year when neither team was putting out great lineups.
It was a much different story in the first half tonight. He could not buy a basket.
There's still a long way to go. 12-point lead with 8 minutes, and you've got what should be the best player on the floor in Anthony Edwards.
Draymond Green finds Hield. Gobert lurking inside. Good ball movement. Draymond Green misses a 3, and there's Gobert with a rebound. Here come the Wolves. 10-2 run. Trying to add to it. Conley with the left hand. No. And Gobert going to be fouled by Green. Rudy Gobert is starting to be a major presence here in this fourth quarter.
Well, he just rolls to the rim here. Draymond Green rotates over, but he's behind him.
Draymond Green just picked up 2 quick fouls. He's got 5 now with 7:42 remaining.
You've got to try to go to Rudy Gobert in the paint on a high-low right there. Like Draymond Green is on him.
Green just picked up 2 fouls in 30 seconds.
I'm a little surprised we're not seeing Kevon Looney right now.
Edwards, shake and bake. Edwards drives, Edwards lays it in. Shifty, explosive. And Anthony Edwards has them believing here at Target Center. The lead is 10 for Golden State. Biggest lead was 23.
Edwards is got 6 hoops here in the second half after none in the first half. He has still not made a jump shot in this game. They've all been drives. The Warriors have got to contain him and not let him to the rim.
15 points for Anthony Edwards. 14 of those in the second half. As Butler drives, again looking to kick. Wolves right with the Warriors. Hook shot again. Spencer got it back. Sets up Jimmy Butler. Well, that looked bad out of his hand, but he had to get rid of it. Another chance here for Golden State as Draymond Green sprays it. Amazing how much ground the Wolves have covered this trip down the floor. And Green misses, and Edwards secures the rebound. And you want to talk about a defensive stand. Clip that one off forever. Hill tried to stay with Edwards. Corner three, no good. Gobert, and he's fouled. Loose ball foul. Gobert locking down the paint.
Well, missed 3, but Draymond Green contests. Not much size there. They've left Pat Spencer to contend with Gobert on the block.
Foul belongs to Payton. 14 foul right now for Golden State. 5 fouls on Green. He goes to the bench with Spencer. Podziemski and Looney enter. DiVincenzo returns for Minnesota. Edwards being grabbed by Payton. Edwards gets free, missed it this time. And Buddy Hield secures it. That was Podziemski who had the tip. Podziemski is a great rebounding guard. Jimmy Butler missed it. And Looney on Gobert. Looney comes away with the offensive rebound. Falling out of bounds, but he throws it off of DiVincenzo. Wise move by Kevon Looney.
A great effort by Kevon Looney there, though. Roots Gobert under the rim, comes up with the offensive rebound. They've got him trapped. Smart play to throw it off his former teammate, Dante DiVincenzo.
11 to shoot. Buddy Hield. No good.
And now it's the Warriors who can't buy a basket.
Ball's loose. Looney runs it down. What eternity on this end of the floor. Back-to-back possessions. Podziemski, no good. And Looney's going to be hit with the loose ball foul.
That's going to put Gobert at the line on the 15th foul of the quarter, and it's 6 minutes now that Minnesota will be shooting free throws on Golden State fouls.
It's incredible Minnesota defense last couple of possessions.
Well, the Warriors are getting open shots, but they just don't have the right people out there.
Gobert at the line. You see the Warriors over 4.5 minutes without a field goal. Gobert in the first round made just half of his free throws. He knocks down the first here. Don't forget, doubleheader coming your way tomorrow. Game 2's Knicks Celtics and the Nuggets Thunder right here on TNT. You can go to the NBA app or NBA.com. Road teams winning each of those games. Nothing but road wins thus far as Gobert 1 out of 2.
The Warriors are 1 for 11 in the quarter. They've made 2 free throws. The one bucket they made was a 3, so they've got 5 points in 6 minutes.
Minnesota 6 for 11. Buddy Hield pours in a 3-pointer. That was a clutch bucket. Warriors desperately needed that one. McDaniels, no good. Looney the rebound.
I like having Looney in this game. A rim protector, not a shot blocker, but a rim protector. Will get his body in front, will use verticality.
Hield gives it up. Butler. And Butler pins down Gobert. A little shot fake or a head fake. Gobert didn't jump with him. Butler scores it. Chris Finch wants a timeout. The Warriors pushing it back to a 14-point lead. Badges to win prizes with the NBA ID Playoff Challenge. Members in the U.S. and Canada who complete the challenge get the chance at a trip to the NBA Draft. Play now in the NBA app or at nba.com/ID. Great to be bringing you these NBA playoffs on TNT Sports. Our last playoff run in the NBA on TNT. This has been a low-scoring, poor shooting game. It is 90-76. Warriors down, beg your pardon, up 14. Wolves with the ball as we approach the 5-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Anthony Edwards has come alive in this second half with 14 points. Edwards drives again, gets stuck. That was Hield with the deflection. I tell you, Coach, Buddy Hield has made some excellent defensive plays in the last two games.
Listen, I said it in our Game 7 against Houston. I have never seen Buddy Hield defend the way he has this year. Certainly the best defensive year of his career.
Looney just holds his ground. Gobert runs right into him and lost the handle. Looney's been a difference maker here. He's calmed the waters for the Warriors.
Well, you talk about a stay-ready guy. Kevon Looney has played every role for the Warriors.
Looney finds Butler. Shot clock down to 2. Butler's got to go. Butler rises up and missed it. Looney with the rebound. Might have got away with a push.
He did get away with a push, but this is what Kevon Looney does. He gets you extra possessions.
Ton of
6 rebounds in 13 minutes already.
Warriors are racking up some offensive rebounds in this fourth quarter. They finally get a whistle here. It is forcing Minnesota to go these extra possessions of defense. Warriors have 16 offensive rebounds, as Stan mentioned. 4 of them have come in this fourth quarter. Timeout. Warriors lead is 14. Steve Kerr wants to talk this one over. Warriors ball when we come back. He is your new home for Roland Garros Grand Slam event coming up in just a couple of weeks. You can watch the stars of the tennis world descend on Paris beginning May 25th on TNT and Max.
And you, Brian Anderson, will also be descending on Paris, making your tennis major debut.
Yes.
Can't wait to watch.
Looking forward to that. Here we go. Warriors with the ball. Butler will put it in. 4:19 remaining in regulation here. Minnesota got on a little bit of a run, but the Warriors have quieted it down. Looney's been a big part of it. Podziemski with 3 to shoot. Naz reads on him. Podziemski puts it up quickly, missed everything. And a shot clock violation. Warriors with a turnover.
I don't get that possession, how you come out of a timeout at a time where, you know, you need to score, and Jimmy Butler just stands in the corner the entire possession.
Wolves desperate for a basket right now. They're over 3.5 minutes without one. Down 14, under 4 minutes to go. Both teams have prevailed in all of these second-round games. Randle is fouled. And free throws here for Julius Randle.
Steve Kerr looking behind his bench, but
Randle with 14. Hasn't missed at the line yet. We went the entire first quarter without a free throw. It's been an odd game in a lot of ways, and Wolves just, you know, we wondered about the rust of having 5 days off after they closed out the Lakers in 5 games, and I think you can chalk up this game to that on some level. They have just shot it so poorly. 39% from the field, just 4 for 25 from 3.
the problem is, though, that's not their only problem. Like, we saw them overcome 7 for 47 from 3 to win a road game in LA, but tonight they've given up 16 offensive rebounds. They've turned it over 16 times.
Jimmy Butler drives. This is Butler time, but he's denied. Randall goes the back of the wall. Here's Edwards now with Payton on him. Edwards gets a step, lays it in, and one.
Steve Kerr upset with his defense. How do you let Anthony Edwards get to his right hand here to the outside? No one comes to help on a night that the Wolves are making no threes. Everybody's staying home on shooters. I'll tell you what's amazing. Anthony Edwards has 17 points going for 18. He hasn't made a jump shot tonight.
All of it coming at the line or in the lane. And it is a 9-point game. Minnesota at 1 point down 23 are within single digits. Draymond Green back on the floor with 5 fouls. Jimmy Butler follows Green, kicks it. Payton, big three on its way. And Gary Payton, the second. A monster three in the corner for Golden State.
Jimmy Butler's 7th assist of the night. Ball's got to be in his hands every possession. He's either got to score it or make plays.
DiVincenzo finds Edwards. Edwards for three. Cash!
He's finally made a jump shot, finally made it 3 after 0 for 11 in Game 5 in LA. And he goes 45 minutes tonight without making a 3.
Big three. 11 in the corner for Edwards. Warriors lead is 9. Here's Buddy Hield. Catch and shoot. The stroke is pure, and Buddy Hield delivers another big three-pointer.
18th 3 of the night for Golden State. When you outscore a team by 39 from the three-point line, you got a good chance to win. That's my expert analysis. That's what they pay me for.
Bad miss by Edwards. And it's going to be a timeout. Steve Kerr was able to get the timeout just as Payton almost lost the handle. Boy, a couple of big threes. One in the corner by Payton, the other one in the wing by Buddy Hield. He delivers yet again in the playoffs.
Okay, now Golden State
Did get the timeout, but 16 on the shot clock means the Warriors have to get this ball inbounds into the front court.
They do. They're going to have to inbound into the front court because if it hits 15, they call an 8-second violation. Please don't ask me to explain the logic of 24-second clock going to 15 to be an 8-second violation.
Podziemski does get it in. And Draymond Green secures it. Green playing with those 5 fouls. We are headed to the 2-minute mark in regulation. The Warriors trying to hold off this Wolves team, and Butler's going to draw the contact. So savvy. It's so impressive what Golden State has done here today on the road in round 2 with their star, Stephen Curry, out of this game in the second quarter with a hamstring injury.
But we're just coming off that Cleveland-Indiana game or even the New York-Boston game, so don't count this game as over yet.
Minute 58 to go, and Jimmy Butler very comfortable at the free throw line in crunch time, and he misses the first.
That's on you, Brian.
I didn't say he was going to make it.
You said very it's on you. Take accountability.
And now they're stirring a little bit. One out of 2. I thought I'd just lay out there.
Okay, I thought that was a good decision.
Edwards going to 2 minutes, finds Naz Reid. Naz Reid almost lost it out of bounds. Reid driving to the basket now, and Reid missed it. Payton, and now it's going to be a second chance with McDaniels, no good. And there is Podziemski. The Warriors secure the board. Minute and a half to go. Golden State ball, and they are starting to head for the exits here at Target Center. Ball control for Jimmy Butler. Warriors leading by 13. Butler no good. Wolves got to go quickly. Edwards drives, lays it in. Anthony Edwards after 1 point in the first half, 20 in the second half.
DiVincenzo, I think, tried to foul Podziemski 3 times.
Didn't get the call, did he? Now we're under a minute to go. And Draymond Green content to dribble it out. Shot clock at 3. Jimmy Butler to Green. Green fires. That was blocked. And that is a shot clock violation.
But they're going to go look at this. Late in the game, they can look at it, and they're going to go look at it. Normally, they would wait until the next dead ball. But here late in the game, because it can affect strategy and everything else, they'll look for it right away. It's a better angle right here, and it's still in his hand. Good call by the referees. It will be a shot clock violation.
Steve Kerr just reminded his team no timeouts left. Warriors lead by 11. It'll be Minnesota ball. Steve Kerr called that Game 7 win against the Rockets one of his most satisfying wins as a head coach of the Golden State Warriors. The 4 championships, all those big games, he said it is right up there with one of the more impressive victories that he has been a part of as the head coach.
And this has got to be another one right here if they finish it out. Golden State by 11 with 47 seconds to go.
The man who has unlocked the Warriors and kept their window alive. Coach, he is just a couple of assists away from a triple-double tonight.
Yeah, look, he's got 6 offensive rebounds and 8 assists. So on a night where he was 6 for 19, he's finding a way to make an impact.
That was a foul prior to the shot. Randle got it deep. It'll be free throws for Julius Randle. 18 points, 10 boards, 8 assists. Another double-double for Jimmy Butler. Butler, the former Minnesota Timberwolves, and it didn't end well. He had asked for a trade. He was about to be a free agent at the end of that 2018-2019 season, and he had made it clear he wasn't going to sign with the Wolves after taking the Wolves, helped taking the Wolves to the playoffs for the first time in 13 years in the 2018 playoffs. And so he was traded to Philadelphia. It has not ended well wherever Butler has been. That was certainly the case in Miami. That was the most contentious of the Butler exits.
Oh, I don't know. This one was pretty contentious. Yeah. He blew up an entire practice up here.
He took out all the reserves, and
it's always come down to money. It's always been a business thing with Jimmy Butler, not getting paid what he thinks he deserves to get paid.
Butler puts that one back. This is going to be a Golden State victory in Game 1 of this second-round series. The first time these two franchises have ever met in a playoff series.
And a great win. When Steph Curry only plays 13 minutes and you're able to get a win on the road against the team who's been playing as well as Minnesota, again, they do it with defense. They held Houston under 90 points in 2 of the wins in round 1. They're going to hold Minnesota under 90 points tonight. Golden State is simply a great defensive basketball team.
Something about the road teams here. First time in NBA history, all 4 road teams win Game 1 in a division or conference semifinal game in the same season. And now the road teams, after that impressive comeback by the Indiana Pacers, that Halliburton game winner, the road teams are 5-0 in the second round. The Warriors with a gut check victory in Game 7 in Houston. They get 1 day off, travel here to Minnesota, and they take down the Minnesota Timberwolves minus Stephen Curry, and an 11-point win here in Game 1 tonight. Let's send it over to Lauren Jabara.
Thanks so much, B.A. Appreciate it. Jimmy, Steph goes down in that second quarter. You knew everyone was going to have to step up. What did you see with this whole team coming together to earn this team win, Game 1 on the road?
Yeah, big time. Big time for the guys. We want Steph back, I'll tell you that. It's hard playing without that man. But we got one on the road, came here, did what we had to do.
Jimmy, this is your first time back playing in this building since 2021. 2 assists away from a triple-double. What was this experience like for you being back here?
Great, with a new group in the playoffs. I don't think you could ask for anything better than to be here and get a dub in Minnesota.
Steph said this morning that game ones of a series are always just a feeling out process. What do you learn from this game one that you're going to bring into Thursday as a team?
That Steph is our best player, and the game is much easier when we got him.
Jimmy, simple enough. Congrats on the win. We'll see you Thursday.
Thank you.
You know, the Warriors have a pretty impressive stat going here. Their last 31 playoff series, Stan, they have a road win in 30 of those. All but one. They've had at least one road win, and they go to 23-5 in game ones of a playoff series under Steve Kerr.
And with Steph Curry on their team.
That helps. Now that is going to be big news. How available will Stephen Curry be the rest of the way in this one? Inside the NBA, presented by Kia, coming up next. Our producer, Jeff Randolph, director, Matt Lipp, our terrific TNT crew. For Stan Van Gundy, Lauren Jabara, Brian Anderson saying so long from Minneapolis.
Завтра в сумерки встретимся мы. Ты протянешь приветливо руки, но на памяти с прежней зимы непонятно тоскливые звуки. Ты, я знаю, запомнила дни заблуждений моих и тревог. И когда мы с тобою одни и безмолвен соседний порог, начинают незримо летать одинокие искры твои, начинают тебя узнавать. Под напевами близкой любви. Дикий ветер стекла гнет, стал вниз петель, буйно рвет час за утренний пасхальный звон, далекий звон печальный, глухота и чернота. Только ветер, гость нахальный, потрясает ворота. За окном черно и пусто, ночь полна шагов и хруста. Там река ломает лед, там меня невеста ждет. Как не стены воду трёмут, как не кости отогнать.
It's so cold. Now I'm wondering how I'm gonna get you back. Hey, nothing about to make it right. Jamila ya mun. Na dawo gida ban ga Jamila ba. Na dawo gida ban ji muryanta ba. Hey, wayo, a neman mun Jamila. Jamila, don Allah gida babu abin da zai raba mu har abada. Jamila, zuciya na ɓaciwa. Gida, 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 gida. Ooh, no matter what people do or say, this love will never die. If I knew I never hurt you so bad, drinking so much, too much women in my life, kwashe mata. Jamila, I'm so sorry, I mean a girl. Inna dawo gida na gan Jamila na, inna dawo gida in ji muryan Jamila, in ci abincin Jamila, wayo.